Last weekend, we kicked off a save game with Ismaily in Egypt. 3 main aims: get half our first team homegrown at club, win the Egyptian Premier League, and last but not least, win the African Champions League. And in our first 4 seasons, we didn't achieve any of those objectives. And to cap it all off, we lost the League Cup final. Yeah, our first major competition final, we fell short, and to be frank, we were rubbish. And not only that, but the club was in dire financial straits. We needed to make money. I'm here to tell you ahead of season number 5, we have made money. What did it cost us? Well, our best player, Falou Mbai, has left the building. Now, to be frank, he was far too good for us. He only joined us for 1 season, but we've managed to sell him on for £3.8 million. That is crazy money for this level. What it does mean, though, is when I look at the club finances, things aren't quite as bad as they were before. Admittedly, I have spent quite a lot of money ahead of this new season. It's safe to say the last video we did start to make some progress as a football club, having not been able to make transfers for the first 2.5 years. We ended up finishing 4th in season 4. Sadly, we were 20 points off 3rd, and with 4th, you don't get continental football here in Egypt. But you know what? Thanks to the new additions we've made, the media prediction is 5th, and I am feeling cautiously optimistic for this season. 5 new additions to the first team. This man, I think, is the most exciting. Nene Yapi Yapo. One of the most fun names I've ever seen in Football Manager. 19 years old. I mean, was it ever really a save game in Africa until you sign a player from ASEC over in the Ivory Coast? And if you've never heard of this team, you've clearly not played too much Football Manager. This team are insane for producing youngsters, and I'm hoping that Nene here is going to fill that Mbai hole in the team. Here is the head-to-head comparison. It probably is a little bit of a downgrade, but one of these players we sold for almost £4 million. The other we bought in for significantly less than that, 16 times less, and Nene is 2 years younger. We did bring in one other foreign player as part of this spending spree. Riyad Gazay has joined us, a Tunisian goalkeeper who I think is very, very good. Nasrallah in blue here was our first choice goalie. He was one of the first signings we made when the transfer embargo ended. We've moved on as a team. Gazay, I think, is a significant step up. Expect Gazay to get the number 1 shirt. And last but not least, we signed 3 amazing Egyptian players who were playing in the youth national teams for a combined £500,000. I actually think the best of the bunch might be the one we got for the cheapest price, but first we have Mohamed Shihata, 19 years old, can play outer right midfield. We did sign him before he turned 19, so theoretically he could become homegrown at club. Very, very good player, great physicals, going to be playing out on the right-hand side for us. And I definitely feel like with all these signings, they're going to fit nicely into the 4-4-2 that we play. Tarek, yeah, he's given up his life as a streamer to become a left attacking midfielder, or at least that is what I'm going to be using him as. At 19 years old, another player with some really, really high potential. We signed him here for £120,000. That is a bargain. And I should point out that all of these players we've signed came from the 2nd tier of Egypt, including the most exciting of the bunch, Karim Ismail. Yes, Ismail playing for Ismaily. It's like it was meant to be. 19 years old, absolutely quality player. Not the quickest by any means, but great in the air. Good attacking ability. He is probably the best player in our team right now. He's just turned 19. I feel like I should caveat that with the fact he has got a minimum release clause of £2.5 million, and that is concerning, because I kind of view this man as someone to build the entire team around. So off the back of last year's 4th place finish, we're not touching the tactics, obviously. We've done really, really well over the last couple of years. I feel like we've now found a system, and you'll note here that in terms of this team lineup that I've got locked in, we've got Shihata, Ismail, and Tarek all locked into positions. I want these youngsters that we've signed getting as many minutes as possible. Elsewhere, Nagy in at centre-back at 18 years old. This boy, I feel like, has got a lot of potential left to fulfill. He is probably the best player that's come through any of our youth intakes. And yeah, we've been giving him regular minutes for the last 2 years. The plan is to continue him on this development path because he really has thrived off the back of first team football. If I had a concern going into this year, it probably is the size of the first team. 28 senior players is probably a few too many. And it does make me a little bit concerned for players like Akim Mola, who again, he was one of these players that we signed when we first were able to buy players and I was looking for foreign talent to bring in. He is a great striker in his own right. But with the youngsters we've brought in, he is probably not going to get the minutes he's used to. And let's not get it twisted, he will get some minutes this year, that I am certain of. Although I think Al Nabris will be the man playing up top. Of course, the Palestinian international, our star boy. He has been at the club for the last 7 years. He is as good as homegrown at club. He has grown with the team over the last few years. And I do feel like, alongside Ismail, there could be fireworks in the final third. Board expectation for this year is avoid relegation. Obviously, my aim for this year, I want to try and get continental football. That requires a top 3 finish. Let's get to January and see how things are looking with our new young signings. Well, I said I wanted top 3. Right now, on the 20th of January, we are in the top 3. That said, it is a crazy, chaotic league to look at the moment. Just as a reminder, Al Ittihad, Zamalek and Pyramids, they are the big 3. They are all doing awfully at the moment, although when you look at the league table and the games played, it is just a massive mess with lots of teams very tightly packed. I mean, Zamalek are down in 10th, right? They played 7 games. Some teams have played 12. That is definitely going to be something to keep a little bit of an eye on, especially if we get to continental football and start playing in cup matches. We are going to get behind on league games and we play in catch-up. I've checked some of the team schedules over the last few years. The last few months get mental if you stay in all competitions here in Egypt. You might have spotted something on this screen. We're the top goal scorers, huzzah, but something better than that. Ismail is the boy. 9 goals, highest average rate in the league. He's 19! And he's on international duty with Egypt, and that is the main Egyptian national team. Just as a reminder, it's a World Cup year 2030. Could this boy go to the World Cup? In the only game of the season, he turned up. Yeah, there was a question mark over, was he going to be good enough to lead the line? I think it's safe to say off the back of this, he definitely is. His first goal came in the 4th minute. He'd score one not long later in the 40th minute. They did get a goal back before half-time, but in the second half, we did go on to win this game 3-2. And I think the thing that stood out to me with all these goals is Ismail is not the fastest striker, but the timing on his runs and kind of the intelligence that he has was on full display. Really nice finishing as well. And obviously from there, he's just gone from strength to strength. Now, I did mention the big 3 and how they're struggling in the league at the moment. We've only taken on 2 members of the big 3. We lost against Pyramids 3-2, but we actually managed to beat Al Ali at home 3-0. This might be one of the best results we've ever got. The rain was pouring down for this game in Ismaily as we took on Al Ali, but we did manage to win 3-0. Shihata getting a goal. He was assisted by Ismail, of course. Shihata, the new addition out on the right-hand side, who I've got some really high hopes for, has been improving a lot. Ismail would turn goal scorer for the second goal as Samir from the left-hand side got an assist. We'll talk about Samir in a moment. And yeah, not long later, we capped off a great result with Tariq getting on the score sheet. So the 3 new young Egyptian players all involved in this game. What a result this is. And I did mention Samir, the 17-year-old, came through one of our youth intakes, and I feel like I didn't really big him up when he arrived, but he is one of these players who just has amazing physicality in terms of his pace at a young age. He's absolutely tiny, but he's got some serious techers on the ball and some really nice passing and vision for this level. He's been playing a fair amount actually out on the left-hand side, and he has been an impressive addition to the team so far. Now, in terms of transfer plans, I have no transfer plans at the moment. We've not signed anyone, we've not sold anyone. Naturally, with Ismail and his release clause, I am a little bit concerned. A lot of the players that we've signed, even players like Yapi Yapo, have required these release clauses, which are a little troublesome. And while speaking of the man with the greatest name in world football in Nene Yapi Yapo, he's been fine so far. I mean, look, he scored 1 goal in the league. It was an absolute banger. Let's watch it now to show you what he's all about. Admittedly, he is a defensive midfielder, and I'm not really sure this free kick kind of striking is what it's all about, but it was a great goal to see nevertheless. And to be fair, the other new addition in Gaze has had an amazing first half to the season. He's kept 3 clean sheets in 8 so far, but for a 7.36 rating, that is superb. It is a little bit of a shame that he did chip 5 goals when we took on Zamalek in the League Cup. Of course, we lost in the final of this competition. The League Cup is a weird format in terms of there's a group stage at the start of January that you play in during a break from the league games. Has been a chance for us to rotate our team here. In this match, Zamalek with Faraj kind of just had our pants down. This guy is a really, really good striker. Scored a hat-trick against us here. And yeah, despite the fact he conceded 5, Gaze still got the best rating in our entire team. I mentioned Samir out on the left-hand side. Nagy, another one of the homegrown boys who we've thrown into the team, has looked great so far this year. The 18-year-old continuing to improve, still has lead in his boots. He's never going to be the quickest player in the world, but he is just a really, really good centre-back who's putting in some great performances. And stop me if you've heard this one before. Yosri, remember he got that 15-month injury? He's injured again. This man is always injured, and it is annoying. Because I really want him to be good. I mean, yeah, I don't know if he's ever going to live up to his potential, sadly. He's just hurt all the time. Going to hope that in the next 4 months we can hold on to a top 3 spot. I know that's going to be a tall order. Let's go see how we get on. Well, going into the final day of the season, we had a chance to get third. That was the aim for the season. Just get top 3, we're having a party, life will be good. Going into the final day, Al Ali and Modern Sport were tied at the top of the table on 73 points. We were on 68 points. Pyramids were on 66 points. A win, we guaranteed ourselves a top 3 finish. And well, things were looking really, really good. 2-0 up at half-time against Alguna, a team in the bottom half. And we only went and threw it away. Yeah, we conceded 2 goals in the second half. I don't even know what to tell you happened here. I'm genuinely speechless. Alguna are not a good team. This is inexcusable. And while I was hoping that Pyramids might slip up, a draw wouldn't be enough for them to go above us. That is not what happened. They won 3-1, taking on Modern Sport. Of course, Modern Sport needed a win on the final day of the year to have a chance at winning the title. Pyramids, well, they withstood the pressure, and that left Al Ali to win the title for the 6th time in 8 years. They won on the final day of the season. And yeah, I mean, there's multiple facets of embarrassment here, isn't there, really? I mean, firstly, Modern Sport have broken into the top 3 before we have. I talked about the big 3 for years, Zamalek have an off year, and we're not even there to capitalise. Instead, Modern Sport it doesn't even sound like a real football team name. They finished 9th last year. They could have won the league on the final day of the season. I will say, though, for the hate watchers who wanted to see the top 3 crumble, it is starting to happen, I think, in Egyptian football. It might just be changing. And maybe, just maybe, that is indicated by what happened in the Egyptian Cup. As for ourselves, round of 16, revenge over Al Ittihad. A mad penalty save in this game secured us a spot in the quarter-final against the team who, of course, last year beat us in the League Cup final. From there, we got very lucky with our draws. We took on Makassar, who don't play in the Egyptian Premier League, in the quarter-final. We beat them. In the semi-final of the Egyptian Cup, we got drawn against another team not from the Premier League in Al Mansoura. Not the most convincing results in terms of stats, but an Ismaily hat-trick did secure us a 5-2 win. And that set us up a date with destiny, our second cup final in 2 years, taking on Pyramids. And Pyramids, as we already have established, are quite a scary team. We took the lead for a goal midway through the first half. Tarek, with a tiny finish, one of the new additions to the team, did amazingly. From there, we had to ride a little bit of pressure before we grabbed a second. Al Nabris, who's been here forever, it feels like, the Palestinian striker, scored. And minutes from time, we managed to get a third to complete the route. Ashraf, near post header, don't care how sweaty it is, it counts as a goal. And with this result here, we have secured continental football for the first time ever. Now, I'll admit, look, it's not going to be the African Champions League we go into, it's the African Confederations Cup, which is kind of the competition a step down. And just in case you've never managed in Egypt before, the way the continental spots are distributed, there are 2 spots for the African Champions League. They go to the top 2 teams in the league. And then there is a 3rd spot that goes to the Confederations Cup, which is kind of the competition a step down from the African Champions League. That goes to the winner of the Egyptian Cup, aka us. Or if one of the top 2 teams has won it, it goes to 3rd place in the league. You might have noticed we were the top goal-scoring team in the league. We have one man to thank for that. Ismail has been absolutely superb. Has been on international duty multiple times with Egypt, still yet to get a cap, but he has already improved quite a bit. He does still have that release clause, which is concerning, but let's look at the positives. He won Young Player of the Year in the league, I think kind of deservedly so, and he could still end up going to the World Cup. You never know, he keeps getting invited to the squad. Surely he's got to play eventually. Of the summer signings, I'm amazed to say that actually it's the domestic talent that's really shone. Alongside Ismail, Shihata has been superb. He finished 3rd in the Young Player of the Year voting in Egypt. I mean, look at the improvement from the right attacking mid here. 11 goals, 7 assists, playing out on the right-hand side is absolutely top draw. And even Tarek, look, he didn't get in the Young Player voting like the other 2. He got 11 goals in the league himself. It is these new additions that we brought in, the 3 Musketeers, as I like to refer to them, that really have made a difference this season in terms of just going that step further than previous seasons. Elsewhere in the team, the GOAT of our team, Al Nabris, the 27-year-old. He's been here from the beginning. I want him lifting the African Champions League trophy. 10 goals and 10 assists in 33 games for him is a great return. Surrounded by children, he's led them by example. And even the Yapmeister kind of grew into the season. I say that. Like, he got a 7.16 rating. For a centre mid, that's like godlike in Football Manager terms. He's been a good little player. Has he been as good as Fallow Mbai, who he came in to replace? Maybe not, but he's already improved a lot this year. I think he might be able to take that next step in the next year or two. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows here at the club, because I mentioned we have a squad of 26 players, and there's a load of players who are asking to leave who, to be frank, were not given enough first-team football. I'm going to hope that maybe the distraction of continental football will allow me to rotate things more, but for players like Akimola, who was so important to us last year, like, his fall-off is just a bit sad. But at the same time, we've not suffered because of it, so I kind of feel like it was the right thing to do. I will probably look to sell him in the summer, maybe even loan him out just to avoid his unhappiness spreading. He's on £5,000 a week, which makes him one of the top earners. It's quite a lot. And I do have to admit, with all the new additions that came in the final third, a few of the homegrown at-club talent maybe struggled a little bit. Rabia, of course, came through one of our earlier youth intakes. A really good little striker, but just someone who I've not given any game time to this year. Al Nagawi also kind of falls into that similar bracket. Another one of these homegrown at club players that I need to keep at the club because I want to have half the team have come through our academy. But yeah, I've just not really given him enough minutes, at least in his eyes, and his development has suffered as a result. I do have very high hopes for Ibrahim Khaled. This guy is a left-back / centre-back. I mean, to be honest, I'm never going to play him at centre-back. I'm training him to play left-back because he's got little bro energy. He's just not good enough in the air. But he broke his leg earlier on this year, and that has kind of messed up his development a little bit. Our backup right-back is another homegrown good player in Nasri. He's had a better year, I think. I mean, he's made 15 appearances on off the bench, 9 starts as well. He's okay. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. He's very good as kind of a super sub option. And I mentioned the fact that in January, Samir was doing well. He continued to perform very well. He's improving. He got 8 goals this year as an 18-year-old, which is superb. And I don't want to say it too loudly, so I'll just kind of whisper it. But Yosri started to play a little bit better in the second half of the year. Got regular minutes, got a few goals. Didn't really improve, sadly, though. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It never is here in Ismaily. Look, we've got a negative bank balance. And that is a little bit concerning because we are losing money continuously. To be fair, we were losing money before. The Mbai sale obviously gave us that £4 million bump. We reinvested some money into the team. We've made a loss of just shy of £2 million this year. I have been looking at players I could maybe move on. Bandama at centre mid was a player we spent big money on when we signed him, 750k. Had a great first year. This year he's been a bit of a non-factor, and I kind of look at his valuation and think, well, if I'm going to cash in on players, I don't want to cash in on youngsters, and the youngsters don't really have much value, and he might just be the most sensible one to get rid of. I will say, just as an aside as well, the transfer values of our first team players are starting to creep up a little bit. I'm hoping that if we can get some regular continental football now, building off this year, reputation goes up, maybe values go up, maybe we can use that to balance the books a little bit. We have had our youth intake. Ibrahim is the pick of the bunch. And finally, we might have a good homegrown at club goalie. He's got great natural aerial reach and, handling. And he's very good in the air. One-on-ones, just don't ask him about those. But in terms of as an emergency backup in the immediate future, long-term number one, he's definitely a maybe. And I will say, when it comes to the first team, if I was going to tentatively label players who could get into the first team eventually, I do really like the look of Hamza Fuad. This guy has improved a lot already. Great physicals, great aerial ability. Only 17. He came through last year's intake. He's yet to play for the first team. Definitely keep an eye on him, though. Anyway, I've got the long old Egyptian summer to go through. I need to trim down the first team. We've got too many players unhappy. Am I going to be able to sell players? Am I going to have to release players? I've got 4 months to try and solve it. Don't go anywhere. Season 6 is coming right up. Let me tell you now, very excited for this season. We've come back a little earlier than we have in past years. It's the end of August. The transfer window has already closed. We're playing in the Confederation Cup here in Africa. We do have to play for a qualifying round in order to make the group stage. The team we're playing are Ura from Uganda. One team, one dream is their motto. I'm going to crush their dream. I hope. We really should be beating them. I mean, this man is their star striker, and he's injured. So, yeah, if we don't beat them, we're bad. If, like me, you're unfamiliar with the Confederation Cup, essentially there is a preliminary round into a group stage. There are 4 groups of 4. Everyone plays each other twice. You play 6 games in the group stage, and then the top 2 teams from the 4 groups go through into just a straight knockout. Now, we are due to move into our new stadium. We kicked off the work on that many years ago, it feels like, at this point. It's currently being built. Our current stadium holds 18,000 fans. Our new stadium is going to hold 34,000. We've been selling out every year, so I'm kind of hoping that will help with the finances a little bit. Annoyingly, the inbox item I was going to show you about the delay just doesn't exist anymore. It's dropped off the end, and for whatever reason, there is no way to actually see the stadium built in progress. in the current FM26 user interface. Because why would it matter? Why would I want to know what my new stadium's going to be like? Anyway, if you were paying attention to the inbox, you might have noticed this inbox item. Al-Tai have offered for Ismail. And I don't want to sell Ismail. I really don't want to sell him. He played for Egypt before the World Cup. He didn't get in their World Cup squad, which was a bit of a shame, but great to see him capped. And over the summer, he did sign a new contract, which has a £4.5 million release clause to foreign clubs, which is a little bit of a relief, because this bid from Al-Tai is actually not that far away from his old release clause. I mean, I'm going to reject this offer. There could still be interest in him. The annoying thing for me is our transfer window closes like over a month ago, I believe, or at least a few weeks ago. Elsewhere in the world, the window is open. When I've got all these players on release clauses, there's risks that they get triggered after our window's closed, and I can't sign replacements. Now, speaking of signing replacements, I made a grand total of 1 transfer this year, and it's a backup goalkeeper. Yeah, it was a very exciting transfer window. Abdulaziz is the man we've brought in. Free transfer, was released by Al Ali. Am I expecting him to play regularly for us? Absolutely not. Is he a better second-choice goalie than my other options? The answer is yes. I mean, compared to Gaze, he is nowhere near as good. I mean, he's 20 though. He could improve. He might one day be the first choice. I don't really see it happening though. Now, just because I didn't sign anyone doesn't mean we didn't do any deals. We actually sold a few players, including Barakat here. The 20-year-old has left the building. We sold him for £155,000. Bit of a miracle that after 2 years without ever playing for us, we actually managed to make a profit on him. And another player we have sold is Ashraf. He was here when we arrived at the club, long-term servant to the team, was useful when we were in a relegation scrap. Now we're in continental football. He's just not good enough. Now, there were a few other first-team players last year that I've ended up loaning out for the year. That includes Akimola and the former first-choice goalie in Nasr Ali. The reality is that for a lot of these players, I just want to get them game time and, well, just get them off the wages. Kamal here could be a long-term striking option for us. He's not the quickest player in the world, but he's got some good aerial ability. He wasn't going to get regular minutes for me, so I opted to loan him out. And with the various loaning outs we've done, the couple of sales we've done as well, we've actually now got a first team for this year of 22 players. It's a much leaner squad. It's maybe going to get stretched a little bit thin. I think we're going to play in the region of 50 matches this season. But the main aim for this season was simply to give as many of these young players as many minutes as possible. We've got so much potential in this team. Some players were just missing out on the game time they needed last year. Now, you might remember when we started this save game, I kind of set a self-imposed challenge to have half the first team homegrown at club. And what I define that as is basically how it's defined in Europe, where if a player plays for us for 3 years before their 21st birthday, they're homegrown at club. Annoyingly, in Africa, it doesn't really exist as a concept, so there's not an easy way for me to display all the qualifying players. But if I do insert the column of last club, you can see by all the players that have NA as their last club, they are players that obviously generated at the team or at least started their careers here. And what that means for us right now is that 10 of the 22 players in the team started their careers here at Ismaily, which I think is really, really cool. And if you do want to use kind of the European definition of homegrown at club, and that's kind of how I'm choosing to view it, players like Ismail, Shihata and Tarek will all have played at the club for 3 years before their 21st birthday, so they would all qualify as well. But it's not exactly a hard requirement, this one. I just want this save game to have a nice focus on youth players. So heading into the new season, our media prediction is 6th. We have got a player in the Media Dream 11, I think for the first time in a little while. Yappy Yappo makes the qualifying line. I am terrified about this man's release clause, but we've just got to roll with the punches. He has actually requested to leave the club because he doesn't think we're good enough. No one has triggered his release clause yet, so touch wood. Everything's going to be fine. At this point, we've very much built a team for the 4-4-2, so we're not touching the tactics today. And one thing I haven't mentioned is we are playing in the Super Cup here in Egypt. It's a minor pre-season tournament. There's a semi-final and then a final. I think there is also a 3rd, 4th place playoff. It's not a major focus of mine this year. Gonna hope that the gamble to not make transfers is going to work out for us. Let's give our young players some game time. Let's see them develop. I'm going to come back to you probably towards the end of January, and we'll see if I've ended up panicking and delving into the market. Okay, well, I said I was going to come back in January. I've come back in February, just because, I'll be honest with you, January might be the worst month of this save game so far. Like, the last month has been hell. I mean, is this the saddest sight of the save game so far? Al Nabris, I wanted to see him lift the Champions League trophy with us. He started with us here when I first came in. He's been our main striker for years. And he's gone to Damak. I didn't have a choice in the matter. He had a release clause. They triggered it. Before he was sold, he had 9 goals in 9 games. I've tried to replace him. You can't replace a player like this, I don't think, though. I mean, just for additional context here, he has the highest average rating in the league at 8.21, and he's no longer here. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Yappy Yappo has also left the club. Again, a team came in, triggered a release clause. I had no say in it. He hadn't exactly been having the craziest year ever, but there's no denying this is just a painful player to see go, isn't it? At the same time, though, you know what? Let's try and find some positives. We made £4.4 million off the back of that. I reinvested £1 million into the replacement signings, then squirreled away the rest of the money to try and balance the books a little bit. And whilst I think it is almost impossible to replace the presence that Addons has in terms of the footballer that he is, we might have replaced him. Butcher here, 20 years old, Morocco international, looks absolutely insane. 17 jumping reach. He is quick as well. He is a big old boy, not as good technically, but an amazing goal scorer who's already scored 2 goals in his first 2 appearances. I'm not going to pretend they're the most spectacular of goals that Butcher has got, but I do feel like alongside Ismail, we might have a crazy front 2 now to try and build around. Has come in with a release clause. Just going to hope that we can keep hold of him. You might have spotted he is on £9,000 a week. The other man we brought in is Fappy Fappo. That's not his actual name. Just to explain, he's a centre mid who's come in to replace Yappy Yappo. They had the identical regen face in game. It's like his Senegalese twin cousin of Yappy Yappo. The legacy goes on. And in case you're wondering, I just call him Fappy Fappo because his name's Faye. And also, Fap's a funny word, isn't it? Look, I'm a child, let me enjoy my moment. I needed to replace Yappy Yappo and I couldn't replace the player with the name, but I could replace him with a comparable player of sorts. I think Faye here is going to have to improve quite a lot to be at that same level, but he was the best player we could bring in for a fraction of the price. And then just in case he doesn't work out, and it is in fact the power of the Ivory Coast that we need at defensive mid, I have brought in a Core as well in January. We're actually able to pick this guy up as a free transfer. He's 18, dumping him probably in the youth team to see if he can develop. One for the future, maybe. Yeah, I just kind of signed him because I wanted to sign an Ivorian for the team. As for the Confederations Cup, we have obviously been playing in that. We had the first round where we were taking on Yura from Uganda. We beat them 9-1 on aggregate to qualify for the league stage. And early doors, the group stage is looking like more of the same. Egypt is the #1 ranked nation in terms of reputation in Africa in this save game. We are a step above all the other teams. It's kind of shown here. We should be making the knockouts and hopefully challenging to win this competition, really. As for the Super Cup, we lost 5-3 to Modern Sport in the first round. But we did win the 3rd place playoff. So yeah, a bronze medal in the Super Cup. Come on. And speaking of bronze, I kind of mentioned earlier, didn't I? The fact that with Addons firing on all cylinders, we'd been doing quite well. Yeah, look at this league table. We're in 3rd right now. 2 games in hand on Al Ahly in 2nd. The only issue is that through 17 games, no one can beat Zamalek. Like, they are just a level above everyone. Last year, they struggled. I don't know what happened to them in the off-season. They are just killing everyone in the league, including ourselves. Yeah, admittedly in this game, we did go a man down at half-time when the score was 2-1, but in the second half, we really didn't do ourselves any favours. Granted, you could say we're unlucky. 2 own goals. 2 identical own goals. Enjoy watching these. It's like watching the same highlight twice. Keeper parries it, hits a defender, goes in. I feel like it was just one of those days where we were never going to win. And Faraj, he got a hat-trick again in this game. This man is just bullying me. I mean, the top 2 get African Champions League football. That looks like it could be a possibility, but I am acutely aware that our fixture schedule could get rather busy. Maybe that should be a little bit of a concern with the kind of trimmed down first team that we've got. Of course, 22 senior players training in the first team, and actually this whole idea of trying to give them as many minutes as possible really has worked wonders. We're giving a lot more minutes to a lot more players, especially some of these players that were more on the fringes last year. Ibrahim Khaled, who broke his leg, has started to play a little bit of football. He looks like he could be a long-term left-back option for us. Tarek was a little bit of a slow burner last year playing out on the left. He had Samir for competition, but this year he has been killing it. 15 goals in all competitions for him. I remember when I whispered the words of selling Bandamo. I'm glad that we haven't done that because he has been a much better player this year. Okay, maybe that is stretching it a little bit, but he does already have more assists than last year in half the number of games, and his average rating is the best of his career so far. And another man who's having a generationally good year is Al Nagawi, which I'm a little bit shocked by. He was 16 years old when we started this save game. He's a real player who starts at Ismaily. I'll be honest, he's never really improved that much for us. This year he's got 6 goals and 7 assists. I mean, for years I've been trying to force him into the first team and he's never really developed. Admittedly, last year he was more of a super sub option. Maybe this is his coming of age, although I kind of feel like it's unsustainable, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's very good. Now, with all the sales that we've made, the bank balance is looking a lot healthier, and I have used this opportunity with the £2 million in the bank to get some board requests in. And you can see here, we are going to be improving our youth recruitment, increasing the junior coaching budget, and I have got an extra under-21 coach allowed. All of that is really, really exciting. Improvements to the facilities are always good, as is the fact we've now moved into our new stadium. Yes, the Ismaily Stadium. Very imaginative naming. 36,000 all-seater ground. Our new home. Hopefully we're going to start filling it. I mean, the early signs are looking quite good. In our most recent home game against Al Ittihad, you can see here, 35,000 fans in attendance. Really, really healthy. At the start of the year, before the stand was expanded, you can see we were getting just 17,000 fans through the turnstile. So that is a really, really positive step. Right, we're going to get towards the tail end of this year. Hamza Butcher, I need you to channel your inner Al Nabris. I'm paying this man so much money. He has to be a good transfer. He looks amazing. Let's see if he can carry us to some glory to end this year. Okay, look, so you were probably expecting me to come back at the end of the season. I've come back a month before the end of the year, mostly because I just need to show you how insane things are here in Egypt. We're in May, it's the last month of the season. We've got 9 games in 26 days. I don't think I've ever seen a schedule as mental as this. Like, this is absurd. Is this what it's actually like for Egyptian teams if you do well in real life? Like, this doesn't feel right. I think this might just be normal in Egypt. We are 5th right now. We've got 4 games in hand on the vast majority of teams. Zamalek have won the league. Yeah, there is 4 games left of the season for them. They've not lost a match. Zamalek are just too good. Zamalek, by the way, still quite a good team. They're in the League Cup final. They knocked us out in the first knockout round. So that's unfortunate. And I would like to report them for bullying, because I've got them in the Egyptian Cup final as well. Yeah, Zamalek... What do you say when a team's this dominant? Like, part of me thought, well, maybe they've had a tycoon takeover. Maybe, you know, they're just really overpowered. No, I think they're just having a generationally good season. They weren't even good last year. That final, by the way, is scheduled for the 21st of May. Yeah, we play a game 3 days before it and a game 3 days after. Anyway, let's talk about the Confederations Cup. We did wrap up the group stage with 5 wins out of 6. Bit disappointing that we lost a game, in all honesty. But our goal difference, very healthy. I mean, it's one of those groups where everyone else in the group got negative goal difference, so you can kind of see how things went. In the Confederation Cup, you've already seen we have been cruising. Yeah, first knockout round, taking on Etoile Sahel, who are Tunisian, I want to say. Yeah, they are. They're a good little team. We won the first leg 2-1 away from home in really dominant fashion. And in the home leg, we continued to do the job. Fappy Fappo, the new GOAT, the new centre mid-hero, popped up with both the goals in a 2-0 home win. Both shots which I think were deflected on their way into the back of the net. Don't let that ruin the narrative. This was a great result. We did suffer a little bit of a scare in the semi-finals, taking on Al Ali, not the Egyptian Al Ali. There's an Al Adi Shendi in Sudan. We won on aggregate. The first leg was not very good. We drew 1-1 here, but in the second leg, we were able to secure a 2-1 win. Hatem Sukar, our left-back, with 2 assists, getting assists for Rabia and Al Nagawi. I said Al Nagawi wasn't going to make it last. He played in this game. He scored in this game as well. He got a 7.4 rating as we went marching into the Confederation Cup final for the first time as manager. Potentially not the last either, although hopefully the last, because I really want to be playing in the African Champions League sooner rather than later. So we have got the final coming up. We're taking on US Monastir. They are a team from Tunisia who look quite good. I mean, I'm looking at their players here. They are better players than the other teams we've played so far in this comp. And you might have also noticed they are the reigning champions. So, yeah, not the easiest of games. I mean, on the one hand, you know what? It's not the African Champions League. I still kind of want to win it, but I kind of want to win everything that we can at the moment. Of course, we've got that Egyptian Cup final to play, a load of league games, and given the fact that we're playing Zamalek in the Egyptian Cup final, even if we do lose that, which I think we probably will, we do have a shot at getting continental football by finishing in 3rd, which, when you look at the games in hand, if we don't get 3rd from here, we've really bottled it. Last year we choked. We've got 1 month of football left when I come back. I hope that I'm happy. What happened in the Confederation Cup final, I hear you ask? Here is what happened. 2 legs, neutral venue. Tarek got us the lead really early on in this game. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And from there, we doubled our lead in the first leg. Right back arriving late, Butcher assisted both the goals here. The new Moroccan striker, turning provider. That was good. Didn't remain good though. Yeah, their first goal was so scrappy. Loads of efforts that were blocked, but eventually they found the back of the net. It was one of those highlights that definitely inflated their XG. And well, Bouate scored 2 goals. Yeah, Bouate, I've never heard of him before. Amazing footballer apparently. Both their goals came down our right, and the third one was a low cross tapped in. We were 2 goals up in this game. And, I mean, when you look at the stats, they actually killed us. It was probably lucky that it was 2-0 at any point. That does not make me feel any better about things. But you know what? It's over 2 legs. It's the Confederations Cup. We're probably the favourites, and we've still got another leg to make things happen. Rabia made things happen immediately. First minute goal, we were chilling, and well, we get another goal to take a 4-3 aggregate lead inside 20 minutes. The ball floated to the back post and headed downwards superbly. That said, in the second half, a familiar story took hold. Yeah, they took, well, an equalising goal. It was actually Bouate who scored 2 in the last kind of fixture, getting the secondary assist for the first. And from there, 10 minutes left, 4-4 on aggregate, set piece, dangerous area, taken quickly and tucked away for us to lose. And I'll be honest with you, when you look at the stats across the 2 games, we kind of just got killed. Maybe I was a bit naive. Maybe I was stupid. We were 2 goals up in both fixtures, home and away, or neutral home and neutral away. I don't know why both games are at neutral venues for a 2-legged game. Is that how it actually is in this competition? I feel like that must be a bug. But you know what? African viewers, please let me know if you know. I still don't know how we didn't win this, to be honest. We were 2 goals up in both games. We've lost 5-4 on aggregate. Following on from that second leg defeat, though, we had to go forward 5 days for the next cup final. We had a league game in between as well. We were taking on Zamalek in the Egyptian Cup, and we were gifted a goal at the start of the second half. Butcher passed straight to him. He tucked it away. From there, though, Zamalek did Zamalek things. Faraj scored again against us. He just scores against us. He's my second least favourite Faraj on planet Earth. I'll let you figure out who the other one was. And 12 minutes later, they scored another. Bakri scoring. Zamalek 2-1. I mean, to be honest, they absolutely killed us in this game. Butcher, a heroic attempt. He got a goal. He was the best performer in our team. He actually has 16 goals and 11 assists in 24 games. But his individual contributions in these big games just wasn't enough. If there is, however, a crumb of comfort to be found, in the last month of football we had 7 league games. We won 5 of them. We actually beat Zamalek in the league 3-1. Doesn't really make up for losing in the cup final, but great to inflict a defeat on them. They only lost 2 games all year in the end. And in part, thanks to that win, we did end up moving up to 3rd place to wrap up the season. That does mean we are going to be playing in the Confederations Cup again next year by virtue of finishing 3rd, because Zamalek have already obviously qualified for the African Champions League and they won the cup. But at the same time, we were 18 points off the pace. And when you look at Zamalek, they lost 2 games all year. They're just far too good. I do feel like a little bit of what hurt us this year was having the 22-man squad for that crazy final month of the season. I mean, you can see here, Gaze in goal played 60 matches. I was thinking we were probably going to play around 50 games this year, but because we did go on a couple of cup runs, did end up playing a few extra than I expected. 7 players, by the way, got into double figures for goals, which is absolutely wild, including Rabia, which makes me very, very happy because he's come through our academy. He's not really improved that much in recent years, but we've given him some game time. He's performed well, and Tarek has also really surpassed expectations. Admittedly, a lot of his goals came earlier in kind of less significant competitions, 4 of them in the Egyptian Super Cup, but he chipped in with some really good goals, and especially in the Confederations Cup, you can see here, 7 goals across 12 appearances is great. But to be honest, I look at Ismail and I look at Butcher, I look at their star ratings, I look at their average ratings. They are just the future of this team. Ismail is kind of the smarter striker who has his wits and is a bit of a better finisher. Butcher is just a physical freak who just likes to bully teams and run at them very quickly. Now, it is worth noting that with Ismail, I've offered him a new contract that's going to see his wages go very similar to Butcher's. Annoyingly, it still has a release clause. I can't get rid of the release clauses right now, at least with the big boys. That said, with Tarek and Shihata, I've managed to get them on new deals where there are no release clauses. So that's 2 of our better players players at least locked in. It's one thing to sell players on your own terms. As I experienced in January, kind of losing players that you're not prepared to lose is really bloody annoying, and if I can avoid it, I want to avoid it. Samir, by the way, from our academy is another player who had a really good year. 14 goals and 9 assists for this man. At 19, he is just improving still. But by far, the most successful player to come through our academy is Nagy. He is continuing to improve. I feel like he could eventually play for the national team. He's great defensively, great in the air, played a lot of matches for us this year, and really improved off the back of that game time. I think this genuinely might be the first season where I kind of look through the team and there wasn't any major disappointments. I feel like every year there's players I'd go, they underperformed, but actually I feel like everyone kind of just contributed what I thought they were going to contribute this year, which is odd. Now, as I already mentioned, the wages are starting to creep up. Booch is on £9,000. Ismaily is about to go on to a comparable wage total to that. I am under the wage budget that's been set by the board by actually a significant amount. I could rejig the budgets to, have a much bigger wage budget or a bigger transfer budget if I wanted to. But given the club's current financial predicament, I'm not going to do that. We ended January with £2.6 million in the bank. We're ending the season with £1.5 million in the bank. That was only 6 months ago, and that is a bit concerning. I'm going to hope that the increased attendances from the new stadium can maybe help balance things out a little bit, as maybe we're selling first-team players. Hopefully not key players, and hopefully not players that have come through our intake, of which there's one man I'm very excited about here. Mamdou Abdelrazek, centre mid, 16 years old. I don't feel like we've had a really high-quality centre mid come through the team. I like the look of this guy a lot. He's got great physicals across the board. He just needs to improve, well, just as a well-rounded footballer. Maybe a bit of a shame he's only got 3 dribbling. Osama is another man who I've kind of got half an eye on, has loads and loads of potential allegedly, but when you look at his polygon, he's not great in the air, he's not great at running. It doesn't really scream centre-back to me. I think if I was going to train him anyway, it might be defensive midfielder. Yeah, I don't know. What do you do with a player like this? Let me know. Bit disappointed that we couldn't get African Champions League football by finishing in the top 2, but you know what? We get to run back the Confederations Cup next year. It's another season of maybes. Losing back-to-back cup finals was annoying. I guess we've continued to progress a little bit in the league by moving up 1 spot. But I really need African Champions League football sooner rather than later. In terms of transfer plans, I don't really want to bloat the first team too much. I want to keep it lean, and as it has been a bit of a machine, maybe a little bit more depth at centre-back needed. I think we have 1 foreign player spot to use, so yeah, not even really got many options there. Anyway, Season 7 awaits. Let's go see how we get on. Okay, Season 7 is here. And I've kept the key players, which I think was the main thing. Ismail, Butcher, both still at the club. We love to see that. And in the market, we've made just 1 signing, but it's a big one. Rafael Cabello was a free agent from Uruguay with 5 international caps at 19. He was released, as you can see here, by Nacional. He'd actually only played 8 games for them, which makes the fact he had international caps a bit puzzling. I'm not going to question it, nor complain. He's joined us on quite a lot of money. £9,000 a week for him at centre-back. He has to play well. Does have a release clause of £4.4 million. And I will admit, 9 tackling on a centre-back I don't love, but he's got great mentals, great physicals. And I do feel like as a partner in crime alongside Nagy, he's just a very good fit. Admittedly, when you compare the 2 players here, you can just see he is a very, very good player, Cabello. It does mean that Ashraf, who for the last few years has been Nagy's partner at centre-back, is probably going to be in more of a backup role. I'm going to miss his 18 jumping reach from set pieces, but the fact he can play left-back and at centre-back means I'm very confident he's going to get minutes this year. Now, it is worth noting, in the Egyptian Premier League, you're allowed 5 foreign players over 21, and then you're allowed 3 further players who are under 21. We've had a lot of our youngsters who are foreign age to the point now where they no longer qualify as under 21 foreign players. Cabello is joining this year as an under 21 foreign player. I think for next year he will count as foreign, so if I am going to keep him around, someone else is going to have to move on next year. So that's just a problem that Future Jack does need to think about. In terms of transfers out, there are none to tell you about. We are just running it back with the same team. We've got a young squad, and I'm really happy with the balance of it. Season preview has us up in 4th place, which is the highest we've ever been, and you'll note here, alongside Fappy Fappo, who's in the Media Dream 11, we also have Cabello here at centre-back, walking straight in. I think that gives you an idea of just how good his quality is. I never thought this day would come, but the board have actually asked that we get a top half finish this year. It's the first time in 7 years where they've not told me, please don't get relegated. Which, considering we're playing in the Confederation Cup for the 2nd time in a row, I feel like there should be more lofty goals. In the Confederation Cup, by the way, we've been drawn against Stade Malien of Mali in the qualifying round. We should be winning that easily. First leg will be away from home, maybe a little bit conscious of that. But obviously, off the back of last year, if we're not getting to the final, like, what are we doing here? That's basically my mindset right now. I did note that in the earlier qualifying round, Stade Malien actually had to play against Big Bullets, where they won 3-2. Can we discuss the name Big Bullets from Malawi? It might be one of the greatest footballing names in the world. I mean, look, they've literally got a crosshair on a football on their badge. Now, in terms of the formation for this year, it's not changed, minus one thing, and I actually changed it last year, but with Al Nebris, who was playing as a false nine, leaving us, I feel like Ismail and Butcher aren't exactly the most creative of players. So as a result of that, we're now just going with a centre forward alongside a channel forward. This is what I consider our best 11 right now. Of course, Gaze in goal, the 27-year-old, is great. I don't really talk about the right back and left back that much in the team. Abdul Wabbar is our right back. In all honesty, of all the foreign players, he is maybe the one that is closest to being considered. A bit of a waste of one of the foreign player slots. I mentioned next year there might be a decision to be made. He might be the man who has to make way. At left back, Sukar is just an unsung hero. Like, he actually contributes a lot to us every year, and I never really mention him. He's been here since we arrived at the club, formerly of Zamalek. I've played him a load. Last year was his best season ever at 28 years old. I'm going to hope he can continue to perform to a similar level. Obviously, at centre-back, we've got the new addition in Cabello alongside Nagy, who, I mean, look how good Nagy is. Look how good. I love him. Bandama and Fapi Fapo play in at centre-mid. Shihata out on the right as another player who's just continued to improve and improve. It's easy to forget with some of these players that we signed a couple of years ago. He's only 20. He's got loads of potential still. Like, our team is so young and can continue to grow, a bit like Samir out on the left-hand side has. He came from our academy, kind of emerged from nowhere. And at this point, I kind of prefer him over Tarek at left attacking mid. And you don't need me to talk about the attackers. Butcher and Ismail, like, all you need to know about these two guys is they are our best two players by a country mile. And as a pairing, I feel like they're very complementary to each other. And I think they are good enough to win us the league. Like, I genuinely feel like we're not that far off it. I guess the concern for me is, can we win the league before these minimum release clauses to domestic and foreign club kind of teams get triggered? Or can I somehow get them removed? Like, we've been able to remove them off some players slowly but surely. I mean, Booch has just got a regular release clause to anyone. It's one of those things where the money would be quite good if we got the money, but I feel like I don't really need to sign many more players at this point. We've signed like 2 players in the last 2 years. We've got a winning formula here. We've got a great young team. I just need them to start developing and start proving they have this potential that they, well, allegedly have. Anyway, last year worked quite well, I think, where we went towards the end of January, February time to see what's going on transfer dealing-wise. I'm going to try and get some new contracts signed. We're going to try and win the league this year. At the very least, I want top 4. I want to play in the African Champions League sooner rather than later. We need to win it again. As a reminder, that is the main aim of this save game. We've not even played in the competition yet. Okay, look, I was going to come back at the February time. I've come back for this little dose of comedy. Pyramids have offered me a job interview. Pyramids, by the way, currently top of the league. I don't know, where's their manager gone? Their manager has stepped down. He's become the Egypt national team manager. Okay, that does make a bit more sense. Well, maybe that is going to derail their season. I'm hoping it's going to. I already showed the league table already. We are up in 3rd. Pyramids and Al Ahly are ahead of us, but we've got games in hand on both of them. If we win them, we go top. As for Zamalek, they didn't lose many games last year. They lost 2 games all of last year. They've lost 4 games already this season. Are Zamalek washed? I feel like they could be. I say that, you'll never guess who beat us in our only defeat all year. Yeah, okay, look, it was Zamalek again, and Faraj scored against me again. At this point, it's not even funny. Like, it's annoying. Both the goals for them came down our right side, crosses into the box, didn't deal with them, 2 goals. 2-1 we lost this one. Rabia scored late, did not make a damn difference. Speaking of defeats, I suppose we should talk about what happened in the Confederation Cup. Yeah, we lost the qualifying round, 1-0. Against Stade Malien. Obviously not an ideal result, but second leg, 7-2 win. Yeah, we went through 7-3 on aggregate. Did I have you in the first half? Probably not. I think I would have opened with that if we had actually been knocked out. Ismail in this game, by the way, 10.0 rating and a hat-trick. And you will never guess who we've been drawn against in our group. Monastir, they're back. The team who beat me in the final last year. We've met them in the group stage already, the reigning champions. And at this point, I think it's safe to say this is a rivalry. We destroyed them at home 3-0. That's not the headline news. The hooey for them, elbowed one of our players in the head. Literally violent conduct. I've never seen an elbow animation before like this. Like, I genuinely think this might be a rivalry, us and Monastir now. Just as a reminder, they've won the Confederations Cup the last 2 years in a row. They are going for the three-peat. I am desperate to deny them it. You might have noticed we did actually lose a game in the group stage of the Confederations Cup, but it wasn't to Monastir. It was to Paradou AC, who of course are a well-known, world-reputable team from Algeria. I do actually think they've got some quite good players here, but at the same time, I don't feel like we should be losing to them. I feel like I never really mentioned this competition. We're out the League Cup. Yeah, just assume if I don't mention the League Cup going forward, we got knocked out early doors. As for the Super Cup, we only went and bloody won it. We beat Al Ali, Al Gaish beat Zamalek, and then in the final we managed to win 4-0. They qualified for the Super Cup, by the way, by being the runners-up in the League Cup. How does finishing runners-up in the League Cup get you into the Super Cup? I've decided I don't like the Egyptian Super Cup. It's stupid. I've not opened up by talking about transfers, so you can probably guess how that's going. No transfers done in January. That's a lie, actually. Kabaka has gone out. Did we sell him or loan him? I can't remember what we did. He was crying about not playing. I didn't use him last year, so I've just kicked him to the curb. I don't want to sell anyone. I might eventually have to sell someone, though. Our overall bank balance, negative £700,000. That's concerning. But if I can avoid it, I really don't want to have to sell anyone because we are firing on all cylinders. Butcher, 22 goals in 20 games is absolutely stupendous. I love this man. Obviously, his release clause is always going to make me paranoid, as is Karim Ismail's, because he has been in some great form. He's been back in the Egyptian national team, has now scored for the national team, and he has just been improving a hell of a lot, the 21-year-old. Shihata at right mid has also been having a really good year. He has got some interest from some teams, but with no release clause, there is no pressure to sell this man. At 21, I mean, what a player he is turning into. And at the back, Cabello and Nagy as a centre-back partnership has been working well. Cabello is on international duty with Uruguay for Olympic qualifiers, which is a bit annoying. I think he is back soon. I do talk a lot, don't I, about transfers that are working out. One that I'm not sure is working out is Akore. Of course, we signed him last January. He has not really improved, sadly. There is one man, though, in our youth team who I have to keep an eye on, and it's Hamza Fuad. This guy, like, genuinely, I probably should just promote him to the first team. He's 18 years old. He played in the League Cup on off the bench, got us a goal. Great aerial ability, great speed. I mean, 5-star potential. I'm gonna promote him. I think that this guy, as kind of a 4th, 5th choice striker, could actually be an option for us. Like, Rabia was the boy for years for us. If I compare Rabia with him, I'm going to say it now. I think Hamza is better. Hamza is just better, I think. Anyway, it is still late January, so the transfer window is still technically open for release clauses to be triggered. I'm going to hope that doesn't happen. I mean, at this point, I think what we're going to do is come back, hopefully in May, with some games to play, be it in the league or be it in the cup competitions. If we make it to the Confederations Cup final, I'm live comming it today. I'm not leaving it to my assistant like last year. I'm turning up. I'm doing the job. And I really hope that we can get some revenge. Like, I don't know how the drawing is done. I want to play Monastir in the final and I want to beat them. Okay, well, first things first, we made it through the transfer window without losing anyone. We didn't sign anyone either, though. As for the Confederations Cup, we made it through to the knockouts. In the first knockout round, we took on Casa Sports, and to be honest, we were just a step above them. Samir capped off a tremendous game with a 91st minute goal that gave us a 4-0 lead going into the away leg. And from there, we were able to win the second leg 1-0. Fuad, who we've just promoted, got the goal. That was absolutely amazing. And well, in the semi-finals, we were drawn against a familiar foe. I wanted to play them in the final. We had to play them around sooner. Fuad, by the way, scored the opening goal in this game. Near post header. Yeah, the youngster scored in that last game. I thought, you know what? We'll throw him in. We need to rotate around. He popped up with a massive goal there. From there, he grabbed a second before half-time. Butcher getting in behind their defence and setting in a tap-up. From there, they did get a goal back before the break. And given how much we bottled it against them last year, that scared me. But within 3 minutes of the restart, Tarek popped up with a goal to reinstate the 2-goal lead. Of course, that was a lead that we threw away twice last time against Monastir. It didn't happen this year. Have to say as well, on the balance of play, we definitely deserved to win this game. It set us up nicely going into the away match. And despite a minor scare as they got a goal in the first half, we held on to win on aggregate 3-2. I mean, when you look at the stats of this game, it was so different to last season. I think this is an indicator to just how much our young players are improving. We bullied them in this game. Ismail, man of the match. And what it means is we are back now to take on Remo Stars, the team from Nigeria. Last time out, I left this to my assistant. I'm coming back to manage this game now. The only minor issue I'm going to have to deal with is it's that time of the year where the scheduling just goes out the window here in Egypt. Look at the schedule this month. We're playing 13 games in 30 days. Like, this is just not normal. And the bizarre thing is, like, this could be our year in many different competitions, but just due to the number of games, I don't know if it's going to be. Zamalek are ahead of us by, 8 points? We've got 5 games in hand on them. Zamalek, by the way, they'd lost 4 games when I was here before. They've lost 1 game since then. They've been on an insane run. I said they were washed. I was wrong. They are very good still. I mean, it's weird. It looks like we've moved down the league table. We've actually, I think, only lost 1 game since you were here against Wadi Degla. We did draw twice against Al Ali in the league, although Al Ali are a good team. But just because of the less a number of games played, we've moved downwards, which isn't a fair reflection. We've been really, really good this year so far. And you might have spotted it, we're also in the Egyptian Cup final, which isn't the be-all or end-all as far as I'm concerned. But against Al Ittihad, who beat me at the end of the last episode, I want to beat them to end this season. So I really have got to think about how we're going to rotate things here. I mean, there are just players that I just won't play. Like, I feel like a green heart like Nagy has here that's a bit depleted. Maybe you can start and sub off. But Cabello here, like, it literally says, needs a rest. And I'm going to have to give him it. I'll tell you what it means. It means Ashraf's back in the team. The 18 jumping reach monster returns. Centre mid might be our biggest area of issue. I mean, Bucha, right, I'm told he needs a rest, but his fitness level condition-wise is still okay. At centre mid, we're going to have to go with a weird combo. It's going to have to be Conter, who was literally one of the players who was here when we arrived at the club. He's played regular minutes for many years now as more of a fringe player. Probably not the kind of player you want in the team for the biggest game of the season. And Akore, the 19-year-old, who's only actually made 1 sub-appearance in this competition, is also going to come in to play defensive mid today. Annoyingly, Samir at left mid is suspended for this game, otherwise he would probably start for me. Okay, I've got the bench picked out. We've got a lot of the players we've had to rotate out waiting in the wings. Maybe we'll throw them on if we get desperate. I mean, here is our team in all its glory. It's not great, is it? Bizarrely, though, I do think we're probably still favourites, even with this rotated team, so we'll see how we get on. Now, if you are wondering, Jack, why are you attending this one but you didn't attend last year's? I'll be honest, last year I didn't think I cared about this competition. I thought we'd win it, to be honest, and then we bottled it in the final multiple times. But given the fact that it looks like next year we're probably going to finish top 2 and be in the African Champions League, this might be my last chance to actually win this competition. Now, just as a reminder, this is a 2-legged game, and this is at a neutral venue. It's not away from home, even if it says so. Of course, we are going to be playing our direct attacking style of play. As for, well, what Remo are doing, they are playing with lots of players behind the ball, and as a result of that, through 20 minutes, nothing is happening. The other wild thing is, right, we've got this leg here, then there's a week between the games. I've got 2 league games between the 2 final matches. I feel like in the league, I'm probably going to end up having to play a B team, but at the same time, I kind of want to try and win the league as well. I mean, this last month of the season in Egypt is mad. As is the fact that with a minute left to this first half, we've not had a single highlight. Nothing has happened. I'm going to tell the players it's not good enough. Akore is already looking tired and doesn't really have match sharpness. Is it time to bring in Fapo? You know what? If in doubt, bring in the Fap. That's what they say. This guy, he's going to do the business for us. I believe in him. Okay, we have a highlight, everyone. This is not a drill. We have something happening. Remo playing the ball forward to Akoro. With their 2 strikers and loads of players behind the ball, they're going to look to hit us on the break. Maybe like this. They're in behind. And what a finish that is. I mean, how about this for a finish? 2 minutes into the second half. Also, a great camera angle to enjoy it by. I mean, we can't lose 2 cup finals in back-to-back episodes, can we? I feel like I've lost more cup finals in this save game than I'll probably lose across the rest of this year's Football Manager. It's mad. That said, you know what? There's still loads of football to be played, and hopefully we'll have a fuller strength team for the next game. Look, let's not get panicking just yet. Sukar, a left wing-back's bringing it forward. Kick-off highlight? Kick-off highlight? Pen ref? Not a pen. Corner given. And Bar, the right back, is over it. Can he get the ball into a dangerous area? Whipped in, headed away, but only as far as Tarek. He plays it to Fapi, who shoots! Oh my word! He's on off the bench. He's on the score sheet. Friendship ended with Yappy Yappo. Fappy Fappo is my new best friend now. Faye. I should call him by his actual name. Faye. What a finish that is. Charles on the far side plays it forward here. This is in a dangerous area. What an awful goal. What an awful goal that is. Oh, look at us, we're Remo Stars. We pump the ball up the pitch, just route one, and then our speedy striker gets in behind and scores. Grow up. It's 2-1. I'm upset. Coming up to an hour played, probably will make some subs off the back of whatever happens here. Shihata skips past his man, the right winger. Gives it back to Bar. Sensible play. Ball played nice. This is lovely. Bar. Conter. Oh, this is nice. This is pretty. This is beautiful. Hamza Butcher, you beautiful man. There's a VAR check. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. The goal is going to be awarded. Sukar, a left wing back, was actually given the ball, I think, by Butcher here, who then just made his run at the back post, and the giant Moroccan nods in at the back stick. Okay, an hour played here. We need to make changes. I am bringing in Fuad. He has made this competition his own this year. Think he deserves some minutes. Elsewhere, you know what? Yosri, in you come for Tarek, who's not at the best game out on the left. I'm also going to bring Nasri in at right mid. I know Nasri is more of a fullback than an attacking player, but I just feel like in this kind of match here, fresh legs in the wide area, never a bad idea. 20 minutes left here. I'm actually going to change our mentality to balanced. I feel like at this point in the game, we're on top, but I don't want to concede on the counter-attack for a third time in this game. And going into the second leg, if we could be at 2-2, I feel like that would give us a pretty good spot to be in. Daniel lays it inside. Aribo has already turned assister once. Daniel, Okoro. Nice build-up play here by them. They're dominating the ball at the edge of the box, Remo Stars. Ball's dinked into a wide area. Charles is in behind. He crosses it in. And that definitely should have been a goal. That is an awful miss. I've got one sub left in this game. I'm going to bring in Cabello at centre-back. I'm going to take off Ashraf. I know Cabello is tired, but I just need the higher quality defender in, I feel like, at this point, just to ensure that we hopefully get in at 2-2. Is playing for a draw a negative way to approach this? Based on last year's final, where we repeatedly bottled leads, having now got back into this game, I don't want us to concede a needless goal. On the flip side, you know, if we want to get a goal here, that works for me. Bar to Fappy, through the middle, gives it to Butcher, given to Fuad, on off the bench. Surely it's got to be a penalty, referee. 4 minutes left on the clock. VAR's going to look at it. It's a foul. Fuad, I hope, is not injured. He's rolling around. He's really selling the foul. And the pen is going to be awarded here. A chance in this first leg to take the lead with 5 minutes left. It's going to be Yosri to take as well. The man who came from our academy is going to step up and hopefully fire us to glory. What can he do? He's missed many months of football in his career. This could be the peak of his career. If he scores, he's missed it. He's actually missed it. I think I hate him. The worst thing is we've missed the penalty. The highlight has not ended. Like, if they now go up the other end and score, it's going to be some Leicester v Watford type of nonsense, isn't it? Oh, Bar, bring it forward. You know what? Let's just go up and score anyway. That's an awful pass. Okoro with the ball. Imagine if they go up the other end and score now. Aribo, he's scary. He can pick out a pass. Conter reads it. Conter, what are you doing? They're on the attack. Please, not like this, Football Manager. Stop. Last year was bad. This could be worse. This could be awful. It's whipped in. They've scored. They've actually scored. I'm absolutely fine. I just broke my chair. Don't know where this fell off the chair. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm not. We are generational bottlers. Generational. I don't even know how to feel. Look, there's a second leg. Everything can be fine still. Everything can be fine. I love this. We're unlucky that we're losing since statistically we're in control of the match. Cheers, Mr. Assistant Manager. That's really making me feel better. I feel fine now. Imagine if they score another. Cole's bringing it forward. Okoro has run the show for them. They're just bullying us. We're just tired. Leave us alone, Aribo. I need a save. No, okay, no, I don't. The shot's gone out for a throw-in. That's embarrassing. 2 minutes left of the added time in this first leg. I don't know if I can ever forgive Yosri for what's just happened there. I know we've been through thick and thin together, mate, but like, what was that? What was that? The only reason he's on penalties is because he's been here the longest and, like, I think I've just left him on them. In fact, looking at it, it just automatically picked him to take them. Which, you know what, that's on me. Should have set up my penalty takers. Although, actually, when you look at the penalty takers, how do we not have a better penalty taker than Yosri? That's actually incredible that none of our players can take penalties. Right, we are going to try and hunt down Zamalek in the league games. I'm returning for the second leg of the Confederation Cup final. Like I said, we've got 2 games midweek that I'm just going to rotate the team against. Remo Stars, second leg. Oh, we have to come back from behind. I need to rest the players. Well, I played a B team for the 2 midweek games. I can't believe what's happened. We've won 3-1. That's kind of normal. Modern sport, you might remember we opened up today's episode with them being one of the big dogs just a couple of seasons ago. They're down in 7th. We beat them 7-1. Now, admittedly, I didn't fully rotate the team for this game, but I started Butcher and, well, he was just doing Butcher things. This guy's far too good, isn't he? Like, he's far too good. 25 goals, 25 games, we're chilling. And you know what else is massive? He's just signed a new deal at the club to be one of the highest earners. No release clause in his contract. Nagy has also signed a very similar contract, so he has no release clause either. And let me tell you now, like, Nagy, like, legitimately just a top quality centre-back at this point. 4 caps for Egypt too. And Ismail has also signed a new contract that doesn't kick in until the end of the season. But again, no release clause. We are finally getting rid of these release clauses. And with these players now contracted for kind of 4 to 5 years each, I feel like now I've got a few years to have a proper go at the Champions League. And who knows, maybe a little bit more than that. Zamalek have only got 2 games left to play this year. The most points they can end on is 83. We have 6 games left of the year. We'd need to score 11 points in 6 games to secure the title. That feels really doable to me. But you know what feels even more doable? Trying to turn around this game against Remo Stars. We're at full strength. I've rested up the players. Look at the fitness across the board. It's in a way, way better spot. And this is a scary team. And I feel like we should be killing them. To be honest, I feel like the fact we lost 3-2 is disgraceful. I mean, the reality is that Egyptian teams in this save game have historically done amazingly in the African Champions League. We are besting them domestically. I've got really high expectations for going into next year where, well, we're all but qualifying, obviously, for the African Champions League. Does mean if this is to be our last time playing in the Confederations Cup, I want to make sure that we win it. We've got to come back from behind. An early goal would always settle the nerves. What doesn't settle the nerves is Bar just running straight into their defender. This, however, might be more than just a kick-off highlight, you know. Early doors, it'd be a great opportunity, I suppose, to get a goal to open up this game as Bar floats in. Ismail, nod it down, friend. He doesn't jump, but Sukar latches onto the loose ball. The left-back's bringing it forward. He shoots. And he probably shouldn't have. Obasi with a throw-in on the near side. Remo Stars have a lead to defend. They are approaching this game similarly to last game. 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, lots and lots of players behind the ball in a desperate attempt to keep us shut down. Okoro to Aribo. He is stepping up with the ball. He was so good last game. Little give and go. It's sensational play. And Aribo scores to make it 4-2 on aggregate. He just charges through the middle here, and the give and go is tasty. The defending, is that Nagy? I bigged up Nagy so much, and he just can't run. If you're like me wondering, is Aribo any good? I mean, he's quite good. He probably wouldn't start for us. You know what? There is still time in this game. There is still plenty of football to be played, and we have the quality, I think, to make stuff happen here. This build-up play is so nice. Sukar fizzes it in, doesn't beat the first man, but well, I was going to say maybe we can keep the pressure up, but not with play like this. Okoro v Nagy. Nagy needs to get across. He gets absolutely skinned. That shot's not gone far wide. Not even 20 minutes played here yet. There's loads of time left for some action to happen as they have the ball. Butcher wins it nicely. Ismail doesn't have the pace, I feel like, to break away here. Needs to use his wits and does so to pick out a nice pass. Tarek, Ismail, behind! The keeper turns it round the post. Elisa with the ball. Going to look to launch it long. The ball coming down with snow on it. We win the header. Fappy, what have you done? He's been given a yellow card for just shoving a bloke over. You can't do that. I thought he was going to get a red card for violent conduct. The fact that's been shown as a replay, is that the game going like, by the way, you might want to sub off Fappy. I can't sub him off, he's too good. He's staying on the pitch as our centre mid as we look to build it up through the middle. Sukar, Tarek, Sukar, the left back, Ismail. I think that was a shot, not a cross by Sukar. It doesn't matter. It was 1 goal between us again. I'll let you guys decide. Was this a cross by Sukar? I think this is a shot. I mean, it's not even close to being offside. I don't know why VAR had to check that one. Sukar hits it. Ismail heads it in. We're back in it. I mean, when you look at the stats for this fixture, we have been all over them inside the first half an hour. I want to stay on the front foot. I want to keep attacking. I want to not concede a set piece, though. As Suleiman is going to take the corner. Whipped in. Oh, my word. That definitely should have been a goal. The keeper, Gaze, flappy hands time there. He didn't get anywhere near it. It's a let-off. A spell of possession here is keeping us pinned back. I don't like this. We are chasing shadows right now in this game. Plenty of players behind the ball, though. Daniel skips past 1 man, skips past 2 men. Options in the middle. And Okoro scores to make it 5-3. I'll tell you what, this is not a fixture for the purists when it comes to defending, is it? We're on the attack. Ismail scores. What's happening? What is happening? They score at one end. Immediately, we got the other. Butcher and Ismail, the strikers, link up, and a really tidy finish into the bottom corner. It's 2-2 at the break here. I'm going to get shouty. I am thinking about changing things here. Fappy on a booking does concern me quite a lot. I could bring in a Corey, I suppose. Elsewhere, do I want to make more changes? Part of me says make changes. Part of me thinks it's a terrible idea. I think if there's one issue I have with my team right now, I think the starting 11 when everyone's fit is great. And if Samir wasn't suspended, or Samir, sorry, wasn't suspended, he'd be a great option on off the bench at attacking mid. But we don't have many game-changing subs in our squad. And in a game like this, game-changing subs would be very useful. Now, I'll admit, I don't know the rules regarding extra time and added time or, away goals or literally anything like that with this competition. And annoyingly, in FM26, I can't exit the match mid-match to go check. So if we are level after 90 minutes, no, I don't know what's going to happen. You most certainly don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a lucky dick mystery. Of course, I'm going to hope that we can just get 2 goals and win this in regulation. That would be ideal. Sukar at left wing-back stepping forward. There's 4 players to aim for. Ismail is one of them, and he can't keep the header down. 61 minutes played. Tarek tries to pick out Butcher. I think he was offside anyway. They clear the ball away. I feel like the momentum is swinging in this game. We aren't getting on the front foot. Butcher. Tarek shoots just wide. Sukar at left wing back is now looking to bring the ball forward here. There's 26 minutes. We are ramping up the pressure, but we're just not finding a way through just yet. Bandama, Sukar, oh my word, what a run this is. Skips past 3 men, fizzes it in. It's half cleared away. Falls to Akore, deflects off Shihata. It's 5-5. Akore, the young centre mid, shoots. Shihata, is that an intentional header? Is this the new meta in Football Manager? Have your players in deep have shots and then just have your attackers head it in? It's what we've done today. There could be another highlight immediately. It's 5-5 on aggregate. At this point, defending has gone out the window. I said this wasn't one for the defending purists. I don't think it's one for anyone, really, who has a fragile heart. This has been a stressful game of football, and it could still go on here. Sulaimon, Aribo, Okoro, Daniel, please don't foul him, but don't let him get a shot away either. Genuinely, one of the worst games of football I've ever seen in terms of just the quality of the defending. What are we doing here? We're all stood like lemmings. It's not even a good shot. Gaze's just sitting on the floor having a picnic in his 6-yard box. Why is there another kickoff highlight? Football Manager, are we good? Are we good? I mean, it's 6-5 on aggregate, just in case you were struggling to keep track of things at home. Shihata is bringing it for the number 11 back post. Ismail headers it, hits the post, and no one gets the rebound. Right, I'm going to make some changes. Nagy has had a stinker at centre-back, so I'm going to bring in Ashraf to play at centre-half. At right back, I'm going to bring in Nasri for Bar, just for the fresh legs. El Nagari on at right mid, you come at this point. And Yosri, do I want to forgive Yosri? I think I have to. I need fresh legs in the wider area. Out of possession, we play with tracking wingers. I'm going to go to inside outlet wingers, I think, here. And the reason I'm going to do that is kind of simple. They are playing with their wing-backs quite high up the pitch. And I feel like we can double up in the wide areas. But when we don't have the ball, I kind of want to try and get in behind their wing-backs when they get committed forward. Anyway, I've made the changes. Bandama's whipped it in. Al Nagari was lurking there. It's cleared away, but only as far as Nasri. He floats it in. Headed away again from danger, but we're keeping the pressure up here. Is that a pen? Apparently that's a great tackle, even though it's a goal kick. Butcher over the corner. Do you believe in miracles? We need 1 goal to draw level. You wouldn't bet against there being more in this game. 18 minutes left on the clock. Akore, Butcher, trying to cut inside, trying to make something magical happen. Oh, Nagari's there! It's 6-6. When we arrived at this club, Al Nagari was our hot prospect. He was 16 years old. He was a kid. He's still kind of a kid. He's not that much older now. But what a time to pop up with a senior goal. And the ball here by Butcher, by the way, is sensational. The run is timed to perfection. He has 14 finishing, does this boy. It was on full display there. I don't know what happens if it's all level. It's 6-6. No idea. I think there's going to be another goal, to be honest. I don't know which way. Who knows? Anyway, Tyro Cole has it for Aribo. It's played forward to Coro. I'm not enjoying this. Nasri, nice header. Can't get it towards one of our players in yellow, sadly. Daniel now looking to bring the ball forward for them on this near side. The number 34 to Aribo. Tyro Cole, bit of space at the edge of the box. Daniel, please, not like this. They've scored again. They've scored again. What is happening? I've never watched the African Confederation Cup in real life. Is it like this? Please let me know. Like, what is this? This is absolute nonsense. What is Gaze doing? It looks like he's directing traffic. Right, I'm going to very attacking. I need a miracle. I need a miracle. Get players forward. Let's try and make something happen here. Free kick. Bandama dinks it. Al Nagawi, he scored. It's 7-7. Now, this call defies all common sense. I'm staying on very attacking. I'm staying on very attacking. We're just going to go for it now. I've tried playing on attacking. We can't defend anyway, so let's just go very attacking. Butcher bringing it forward. Ismail in the middle to maybe try and aim for. Gives it all the way back to Nasri, the right back. Get the big meaty men in the middle. Pick them out. Yosri was lurking. Bandama shoots just wide. 4 minutes of added time at the end of this game. It's 7-7. Is there to be late drama? 2.5 minutes left and the game decides we need a highlight. Do we really need a highlight here? I'm not sure we do. Ashraf wins the header. It's not good. This is not good defending. They're bringing it forward here. It's shot. It's deflected. You can't show that as the highlight, can you? That can't be it. 4 minutes of added time is going to come. Is it going to go? There's 20 seconds extra played. There's more than last chance. The ball's put in. Ismail can't get there. Is this going to extra time? I don't know what the rules are. It goes straight to penalties. What do you mean? I mean, I just don't have penalty takers here, do I? I'm just going to continue. The game can just do its thing. Okoro steps up first for Remo Stars and scores. Bandama, number 8, misses immediately. What are we doing here? Okay, Daniel for them steps up to take penalty number 2. I need them to miss. He doesn't miss. Oh no, Yosri's taking the penalty. I don't want to look. I don't want to look. Someone cover my eyes. If he misses again, I'm releasing him. He's missed again. I can't release him. He's homegrown at club. Oh, what are we doing? I thought last year's bottling was bad. If they score this, we can't miss a penalty and they have to miss their last 2. It's just gone through Gaze. Does Gaze have hands? Like, genuinely, our goalie in this fixture, I don't feel like I saw him make a save. Cabello, one of the best signings we've made in recent years, a Uruguayan centre-back. This is not why I signed him, to take penalties in games like this. Can he score to keep us alive? Did he just Panenka that into the top corner? It looked like a dink. It was a great penalty. Unfortunately, however, that goal could all be in vain because they just have to score one of their last 2 penalties to be guaranteed through. Gaze's actually saved it. Could it happen? I mean, based on everything we've seen today, I should expect this to be missed. It's not missed. Al Nagari scored. If they miss and we score, it's sudden death. I mean, after all of this, they're probably going to score. It's Orehi who's their best striker to step up. The number 11 steps up, shoots, scores. We lose, and in some ways, having a little bit of hope for a couple of rounds of the penalty shootout makes this sting even more. I feel like it's just going to be a thing with this entire series. I just get to watch other teams lift the trophies all the time. You know what? I'm not even going to watch it this time. How have we lost this? How have we... I don't even know what to tell. I'm fuming. Win the African Champions League, he said. At this point, it'd be a miracle if we ever win the Confederations Cup or indeed win any cup competition. We do receive £700,000 for that. That's money I did not anticipate. That's quite nice. I actually don't know how much money you get in the African Champions League. Hopefully it's a decent amount because we need money. Right, after all of that, the season is still not over. That was a crazy match, just how long it went on. We have still got, what, 7 games left of the season. 6 of them are in the league. We should be Premier Division champions to end things today. Even if we achieve that, I'm still not going to be happy. Let's go and see how I'm feeling at the end of the season. You know what they say about Ismaily? They don't win cup finals. Taking on Al Ittihad, they beat us in the League Cup final 3 years ago. They beat us in the Egyptian Cup final here. Yeah, this defeat, kind of unfortunate. They scored from the penalty spot to take the lead in this game. Butcher's solitary goal wasn't enough. Despite that, though, we did have a pretty good end to the year. Wins against Pyramids, Al Ittihad in the league, as well as against the likes of Modern Sport, another difficult game that we won, have seen us, for the first time in a very long time in this club's history, hoist the Egyptian Premier League trophy aloft. For the first time in over 2 decades, Ismaily will be playing in the Champions League next year. A load of players now need rests to end the year. You know what? They can all go have their rests. Now, of the first team of 24 players, 10 of them have NA for their last club, meaning they came through our academy. And whether or not they really count, I suppose, can be up for debate. But Butcher, Ismail and Shihata were signed 3 years ago. They've played for us for 3 years before the end of their 21st birthday. Which does mean if we're going to use the European approach for what constitutes homegrown, these 3 players would all actually count as homegrown as of the end of this season. One thing is undeniable though, tick it off, we've won the Egyptian Premier League. You can let me know down in the comments if you think the homegrown quota has been achieved too. And whilst there's no denying on the whole, today's been a great episode. The number of cup finals we've lost, the amount of money that we're in the red, are definitely concerns in terms of helping us achieve our ultimate goal. I want to make it 2 Champions Leagues for Ismaily. Find out next time if we can pull it off. I will apologise for the fact this video didn't come out on the Sunday following last week's episode. Just timelines of editing and producing the video meant it slipped a little bit, but I appreciate you getting to the end of the video today. Besides all of that, take it easy. I'll see you for part 3 soon. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.